Welcome to round 2 of the 2009 FF1M season, coming to you from the Malaysian circuit Sepang. It's quite a popular circuit amongst the drivers, some very technical corners such as the turn 1 and 2 complex, and some extremely fast corners such as the turn 5 and 6 left and right. Here's the map of the track. As you can see, it's a fairly technical circuit, much like Melbourne, except this one, Sepang, is much faster than its Australian counterpart. It's marked by 2 extremely long straights where you're likely to see the overtaking happen. And here are the tyres available. It's, as you can see, the colour coordinated. The orange marked is the wet tyre, green intermediate, red super soft, yellow soft, and green medium. Sorry, that's the white medium, sorry. You can't see it on the FF1M cars themselves, but I'll be able to tell you which tyres each team's running on. So more teams are running KERS, and this influenced the starting grid, as it's Fernando Alonso that takes pole position for AJ, a superb pole position in fact. Kobayashi, even more impressive, second on the grid in only his second race of the season. Hamilton takes third on the grid, the Australian race winner, ahead of Kubica fourth for FJR. Shake and Bake have switched to the medium compound tyres, as their soft tyres in qualifying proved so great that it didn't really affect their race pace much, as they won by an entire lap. So they changed the soft tyres in the hope of more race pace. Other changes include the addition of KERS for AJ, Dodgem and Pedersen. Much like Australia, Dark Wolf and Autodynamics failed to make it through. So here's the red lights, and they're out! Alonso gets a cracker, Kobayashi not so quick away, and already Hamilton's taken second place off the Japanese driver. Up the inside into turn 1, it's Kubica that takes second place off Kobayashi and Hamilton. And they all get through cleanly. Running at the back, anything with a Red Bull livery. But it's Fernando Alonso that maintains the lead, but Kubica flying already. In terms of strategy, we're expecting a 50-50 split between 2 and 3 stops. There's some side-by-side action between Massa and Button at turn 4. And Massa takes the place of the world champion. We've got some squabbling at the back. And Kobayashi being challenged by Hamilton. Hamilton lost a lot of ground there. He had a look, but now he's got a car behind him challenging it behind Heidfeld. Nick Heidfeld in the Dodgem, he had a superb qualifying session to be 6th on the grid, and he's gained a place from Timo Glock. Massa up 5 places from 12th to 7th. And Jenson Button, in fact, maintaining that 8th place. Clean's had a dreadful start. He started 7th and he's out of the top 8. And let's have a look. We're focusing on Heidfeld here. He's got Timo Glock and Heidfeld having to defend a little bit in the pink Dodgem. Dodgem, of course, with KERS this weekend, and a rule. And look at that. That was Glock having a look at Heidfeld. And teams are allowed to take KERS off for certain race weekends, and Some squabbling going on here. It's Pantano who's moved up to 8th. And off the track went Felipe Massa. And he's off at turn 1. Did he have contact with somebody? But he's out. No, it was a puncture. So the tyres on the FJR are going already. So maybe they weren't set to the correct pressure. And Hamilton again having a look into that corner. It's turn 7. 7 and 8. You can't make it into that corner, only if you're absolutely side by side. But definitely Hamilton is quicker than Kobayashi. Although Kobayashi will have the straight line speed advantage. It's a very tricky turn 13 and 14. Onto the back straight. Is Hamilton close enough to take advantage of the slipstream? Not really. And he's got Glock catching up to him. Button on Heidfeld for 6th place. Fastest lap for Fernando Alonso. Pulling away a little bit from Kubica. Out of the final corner goes Button and Heidfeld. Now Heidfeld's in the slipstream and he does have Kurz. And, well, that is ridiculous. The speed advantage he had, and on fire is Bruno Senna, out for the 2nd race in a row. Well, Senna's season going from bad to worse already. It's clearly a blown engine. And off he goes. Button again on Heidfeld into turn 9. Very tight left-hander, hairpin. And up to 6th place goes Button. Now can he catch up to Timo Glock? Both on the same compound tyres, and round the outside goes Barrichello on Pantano for 8th place, and just about making it without contact. And Pantano better watch out from behind, because he has got what appears to be a Shannon, but I'll have to double check that. It's Suttil making a move on the Mitchell of Trulli, I think. Hamilton right with Kobayashi now. Having a look round the outside, but he's just going to get the door closed on him. Now, can he get a good run out of the final corner? He's swarming about all over the gearbox. Kobayashi already in his first season. And Hamilton up the inside, side by side. And Hamilton looks to have got the place done. But Kobayashi has already been impressive. He showed some terrific display of overtaking in Australia. So already a star to watch for the future. Now Rubens Barrichello looking at Heidfeld for 7th into turn 9, and that's got him. Up to 7th place goes Rubens Barrichello. Now Hamilton in 3rd place. Sets the fastest lap, so he is catching up to Kubica in 2nd place, and that's without Kurz. And Alonso controlling the race nicely at the front, and Hamilton definitely catching up to Kubica. And blown engine goes Barrichello, that's his 2nd retirement in a row. And that's... So once again, the Kurz breaking the engine to smithereens. And that's 7th place, more points lost for GRM. But you feel that once they get the reliability sorted out, that it's just a matter of time before GRM will be point scorers. Because they have been really impressive in terms of race pace. The inside of the Dodgem of Heidfeld goes Bourdais up to 7th place. Cleanly done into turn 1. So lap 11, Alonso leads by 5 seconds from Robert Kubica, who pits from 2nd place, as does Hamilton from 3rd. So effectively a pit stop duel. It's down to the FJR and the Shake and Bake teams to see which one they can get ahead of first. Kubica does have an advantage of more than a second or so. And right together in the pits. On board with Hamilton for his stop. And now on board with Kubica. 10.7 seconds. And Hamilton held up. He's been held up, and it's Kobayashi coming into the pits. So Hamilton lost a bit of time. His stop was quicker, but he had problems getting away. And that's helped Kubica a lot, because now he's got a car between himself and Hamilton. It's Bordet. Alonso leading, not yet pitted, so he carried more fuel than Kubica, and he's faster than him during the race. This is a very impressive performance from Alonso. We look at the dodging of Pantano. He's pulling off with a problem. He's not on the racing line at all. Be careful that nobody ran into him there, but safe. Trulli pits from 17th place from Mitchell. Pulled off on the inside of turn 5, and it's a suspension fault. You don't want an unstable car around this track. And you saw the Dodgem pulling away from the straight. That's the AJ, sorry, pulling away on the straight there from Kimi Raikkonen. It's Christian Klein in 8th place. Jenson Button in the pits. But the other Tornado just can't get close enough on the straights. AJ's got some cracking straight line speed. Down to 10th place goes Button with a 12.3 second stop. It must be 2 stops for him. Adrian Zhao for Pedersen pits. And look at the lead that Alonso's got. He's carried more fuel than anybody else of the top runners. He's looking extremely strong for a victory, let alone a podium. And it's 9.7 seconds. Great stop. And he's going to rejoin well ahead in the lead. And Klein in on virtually the same lap. Raikkonen in 9th place. Got Heidfeld in front of him. And Christian Klein behind him. And this is the battle for second place. Kubica 2.2 seconds ahead of Hamilton. Make that 2.1. Lewis is definitely closing in again. These two pitted on the same lap as each other. So potentially we're going to get a very tasty scrap between these two drivers for second place. And that I am looking forward to. And just behind Hamilton, coming into shot, not quite. It's Timo Glock in 4th place. Down to 1.9, so Hamilton definitely closing in. And historically, reliability on the shake and bake has been better than the FJR. So Lewis can take that comfort. Let's see the gap as they approach the second split. Yes, definitely closing in there is Lewis. Half a second taken out in the middle sector alone. So whether Kubica has a developing gremlin or anything, because the FJR's reliability of late, especially during the last few seasons, has been questionable to say the least. And certainly if the first race is anything to go like, they should be careful about their reliability. Some rumours around the paddock, and Christian Klein is out of the race, the one half of the AJ team. So that will be a worry for Alonso, and there is Klein pulling off from 10th place. A suspension fault, so nothing wrong with the internals, just the externals. And who's that slowing? Was that? They're going through some traffic, I think, because Hamilton, yes, has lost 4 tenths in the middle sector. And they got some more traffic in front of them. It looks like... No, he's pulling off! Kubica's pulling off! It's another reliability problem. And that moves the shake and bakes to 2nd and 3rd. On the grass. Well, looks like FJR have to rethink their philosophy a little bit. And it's another suspension. The suspension's taking a bit of a battering around this circuit. So both FJRs out yet again. Raikkonen looking at Kobayashi for 6th place. No, he's pitting. Just after half distance. Could he be 3 stopping? Could Kimi? I should mention there's a 3-day test session after this one. Each team can only bring 1 driver, and they'll be no doubt using this test to improve the cars, especially those running KERS looking to improve the reliability of that. Especially after this race, FJR will be desperate to improve reliability. So Raikkonen rejoins in 10th place. Into the pits comes Alonso. Fairly short second stint from Fernando. He's only done 10 laps or so, maybe a bit more. But out of the pits after a 10.8 second stop. It's a nice clear track, and Hamilton in around 16 lap stint, sorry. 10.1 second stop. Where does he rejoin? In 3rd place and off the track, pulling off his Jensen Button. So even KERS-less cars are suffering from reliability. That's him out of 4th place. He was looking quite good. Even running on the medium tyres, he was looking pretty good. Into the pits comes Sebastian Vettel for Guy Racing. We've heard nothing from the Guy Racings other than, well, this is the first time we've mentioned the Guy Racings. They qualified 20th and 22nd, so horrendous qualifying performance. Into the pits comes Buemi and Timo Glock. We do know that Guy Racings tend to be extremely strong in race pace, but qualifying is something they need to sort out, because I mean, Vettel in 8th, so again showing good race pace, but they really need to improve the qualifying pace if they're going to challenge the top guys. Lap 37, it's Fernando Alonso leading, and blown engine for Maldonado, so both Shannons out. Reliability really taking its toll. It's Alonso from Hamilton and Glock, so... And on lap 38, Alonso pulled 0.2 of a second on Lewis Hamilton. So Alonso's definitely got the measure of Lewis. Into the pits for the 3rd time comes Kimi Raikkonen. So definitely 3 stopping for the Finn. In from 4th place. We'll see how fast the stop can be. Change of tyres, refueling. .9 seconds. Easily enough to make it to the end of the race. Heidfeld pits from 6th place. And out into some lovely clear track goes Kimi Raikkonen in 5th place. And Alonso pits from the lead. And that is not a scheduled stop. That's a brake problem, as you can see on the steering wheel. And that is a worry for AJ, because if they are suffering from reliability issues, it can creep back. I know there's only 9 laps to go, but reliability can still creep back. 9.4 seconds, that's not particularly quick. 9 laps to go. Are we expecting the shake and bakes in again? Yes, we are. Hamilton in, 9 laps to go. And if Alonso is suffering from reliability issues, this is a huge opportunity. How fast can the shake and bake boys do the pit stop? Car goes down, it's 8.9 seconds. That is a swift pit stop. Tyres and fuel. rejoining. He's ahead of Alonso. Now, if Glock needs to pit again, then Hamilton looks set for his second win in a row. Because no doubt that on the mediums, Hamilton will pull away from Fernando. Off goes Heidfeld, 7th. Oh, Dodgen were having a good race as well. More suspension worries. So it's Timo Glock leading. He's not pitting. 7 laps to go. At the moment, the gap is 7.1. And Hamilton the fastest man on the track, so he's definitely catching up to Glock. 6.7 seconds is the gap as they enter the latter stages of the race. Now it's 4.8. So Hamilton taking best part of a second out of Timo Glock. And that was a second in the first sector alone. Hamilton's definitely going to catch up to his own teammate come the end of the race. Now Team Boss, Courtney Cass, will be hoping that it'll be clean action, but he won't want them to take each other off. Glock approaching some traffic as well. And that's another second taken out of Timo in the middle sector. So a total of 2 seconds in this lap already. You can visibly see the gap closing. No need for stopwatches, just use your eyes. Glock trying to outbrake a Mitchell into the final corner, which works. And now Hamilton's being held up by the Mitchell. I think it's Trulli. It is Trulli. Inside, and Hamilton being held up horribly there. That is horrendous. He gets past now. Glock trying to take GRM round the outside. That's brave. How much did Hamilton lose in that one hold up there? Where is he? He's there. He lost a total of 2.5 seconds in that one corner. Now here we go. Approaching, this is the final lap now, and Glock 2.5 seconds ahead. Now if Lewis can keep up the take a second off each sector routine, he will catch up to him. Glock taking it easy through turn 2. To turn 4. Glock was a championship contender in the 2005 season, and half a second taken out of the lead in the first sector. So Glock looks to have this one safe. When driving for Guy Racing in 2005, Glock was a quiet contender, but he was in the final race, but didn't have quite the pace of the Pedersens to beat them in the end. In one of his victories, he was coming round to lap Rubens Barrichello and promptly shunted him off just as he was crossing the line to take the checkered flag. No risk of that this time. It's going to be formation finish again for the Shake and Bakes. This time it's the German beating the Brit. Seemingly, just one more corner to go. Out of the hairpin. And taking the checkered flag, it's Timo Glock for Shake and Bake. It's 2 in a row for the Yorkshire team. Hamilton comes home in second, another 1-2. Well, they've practically got this season wrapped up already. Third place, it's Fernando Alonso for AJ. Only 9 seconds behind, so a very impressive race performance from Fernando on the soft tyres. Kobayashi, a very impressive 4th place. Raikkonen 5th, Vettel 6th. Buemi takes points for Mitchell, and Zaug getting his first points of his career, just as his teammate. Andy Racing's wrap up the top 10, and a lot of reliability problems for the field. It's Hamilton from Glock in the championship standings. Raikkonen is the best of the rest at the moment, much to the surprise of his own teammate down in 8th. Vettel quietly taking points, Guy Racing trying to use consistency to their advantage. And in the Constructors, a runaway leader in the form of Shake and Bake. Guy Racing tied 9 points with Pedersen, and Tornado taking second. The best they could hope for, considering Shake and Bake's pace, as Tornado are the reigning champions. We've got 3 days of testing coming up now, but we will see you for the next race.